Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Think About It 2.0 with Pastor Jake. Thank God for you sharing with me today. I am so excited because we are starting our series that's called The Pastor's Kids. And it's going to give a lot of insight into the life of pastoring, the life of raising kids, and most important, their aspect of my decision to say yes to God. So our objective is for you to just take an inside view from how it's viewed from the pastor's kids to the world. And I'm excited because I have a wonderful guest that's going to be with me tonight. I'm not even going to tell you who it is yet. I just ask that you would pray for this endeavor, and we are going to be back with you in just a moment after I sign off for a minute. But what I'd like you to do is subscribe, to like, push that notification button so that when we do something, you're always aware, and then you can always watch it at your convenience. So God bless you. I'm excited because my guest tonight is my oldest child, my daughter, Jaketta Gaines. I am so excited to have you, Ketta. I'm just glad to have you with us. We're just simply gonna talk about life.
What's up?
As a pastor and a pastor's child. It's funny because I was thinking today, I said, okay, Lord, when I have my baby, when I have my child, this is a child who told on herself as a kid. She was just honest. She just wouldn't. Jaketta, did you break that vase after I told you not to play near the coffee table? So she's pretty honest. She's pretty forthright. She didn't even protect herself, okay? And it's funny because, we talk about all the time that we have a very unique relationship. That's
Don't try this at home.
shrouded with respect.
For sure.
And yet we're open and honest with each other. Sure. And that's what we're expecting tonight. So as we mentioned, we're going to be talking about the pastor's kids. And this is part 2. Because I did part 1 with my son a couple of weeks ago because I was in his city. I went to visit him. And so we needed to do that at that time. But this is part 2, part 3. Neither one of them have any more significant value than the other. It's just opening up doors or opening up, avenues and ideas for people to recognize that as a pastor, as pastors' children, we still have challenges. All right. And so, okay, here's kind of the ground rules, all right?
Okay.
I know that I'm going to ask you questions, and certainly you're going to express, those particular questions that I ask. And yet, there's always room for you to elaborate. I won't dictate what you elaborate on. Just more or less questions that I think, maybe some questions, Jaketta, that I just want to know. Who's to know? Because here's the thing, you all. Pastors, preachers, we accept this calling, this subjective calling to preach. No one hears that call but us. Our children don't hear it. God hasn't said anything to them. And the next thing you know, or the next thing they know, my father's a preacher. And then on top of that, now he's a pastor. Do we really consider how that impacts them? Now, when it comes to obeying God, you obey God. But do you even consider that you might want to ask them how this impacts them? I didn't. She was about 11. Was it 10, babe? Okay. So, hey, I'm obeying God. Has it at any time occurred to me that maybe, just maybe, you want to ask your children, oh, okay, I messed up. I tried to do something. But you know what? We're human. Okay, it's all good. It's okay. Yes, I'm going to put this timer on. Okay. So I want to ask you, I don't really know where to start with this, because I don't know at what point my ministry or my calling impacted you. I don't know if it impacted you at 10, maybe it didn't even make, or 11, it didn't even make a difference at the time. But I want to ask you this. To start, at what point did my position, my decision to receive the pastorate and preaching in the ministry, at what point did that impact you?
When you first told me, I was 8.
Okay.
When you first went into the ministry, I was 8.
Okay.
So it was weird because it was like, I knew in my mind the concept of what a preacher is. And I knew who you were wasn't that. So
come on now.
I was like, I remember because we were standing in the dining room on Manor. And you told me, you was like, hey, I'm gonna be a preacher. And I was like, you? And I bust out laughing. And I was like, okay, I guess, but it was just like, kind of like, all right, whatever, you're gonna be a preacher. I went back to my room, it didn't really get real to me, honestly, until your,
Charles Sermon?
Yes, your Charles Sermon. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's when it got real.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, he really about to do this. And then it was the trial sermon, and then you got ordained.
Okay, yeah.
So you got ordained. And then so that part, that's when it kind of became real. Like, okay, this is really like going down for the way I could understand it.
Okay.
Then, like a year later, you were at this church. And then it was so crazy because I went from this grand, beautiful, amazing, like, structure of a church to this place that looked like a house. And I was like,
from New Prospect
to synagogue. Wow. And I was like, what is that? And I remember like, oh, we have really dropped out far. Like if we've gone from New Prospect to here. Oh. Like, but this is what was going on in my 10-year-old mind.
Okay.
That I don't know. You know what I mean? And then when I walked in, it just didn't seem like a church to me.
Okay.
It didn't look like a church. I mean, the church I went to had, a choir stall that could seat 150.
Yeah.
It could seat 400 people so here we were in a church that was the size of the Sunday school room.
Okay.
So it was weird. It really was. It was weird for me from that transition at 10 years old.
Okay.
It was like, wow. Okay. All right. And then, the people, and it was just like, okay, I'm slow to warm up to people.
So not only are you in a smaller place, these are strangers.
These strangers that I got to now adjust to.
That in your 10-year-old, so my decision is causing you all of these adjustments. Okay.
So, and then we were in a neighborhood that I wasn't used to. I mean, just wasn't. And so it was huge for me. In my 10-year-old mind, it was huge. That was big.
Okay. I'm not going to get to the changes yet because, of course, synagogue became something else.
Right.
We'll get into that.
For sure.
I think the biggest thing, one of the things that I'm curious about, and I think others might be curious about, is that, okay, I was singing in nightclubs when I got called.
And do you remember I used to sit in the bar with you? So
took me Sweet 100,
y'all.
Oh my God.
Puritan and Shaker.
Stop. Okay. Sweet 100. It's still there, right? Still there. Okay. So here you are.
I only had a Sprite. I didn't have any.
Yeah, exactly.
I only had a Sprite. It wasn't nothing. I was just there.
And
my daddy was there. Right.
That was rehearsal during the day.
So,
okay, so here we are. As time went on, as 6 months, year, whatever, at any time, did you kind of feel, this is a little more difficult than I thought, or whatever it may have been, or wow, I'm having to make more adjustments because now it's about church, before I got called to the ministry, Sunday was another day to play ball.
Absolutely.
That's what
that's what I was used to.
That's what you were used to. So now it's, well, Daddy, are you playing? But no, baby, we going to church.
Right.
Every Sunday? So did that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I think about one of the things about our relationship was the way I knew you were going to play ball. You didn't have to say anything. You didn't have to make an announcement. All I know, his bag by the door.
Yeah, wow. Are you serious?
That's how I knew.
Thought about that.
That's how I knew.
That's true.
I was like, oh, so that was my signal. Like, hey, I need shorts. Daddy going to play ball. We going to play ball. So that's what it was. Almost like you took away my playtime, my connection time. All of that.
Your connection time to me.
Yes.
Oh my God. Are you?
All of that. It was gone. You took all of that away. So now I gotta find a way to connect with you through this new thing.
This ministry.
Yes. Because that was our connection.
Do you realize this is the first time? This is the first time
you ever really
hearing this.
I guess this is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to.
Oh, his bag by the door, and now that's because the bag wasn't there no more.
Right. Exactly.
Because we going to church.
We're going to church. Right.
Okay. Did it ever, in your mind, in your 10, 11-year-old mind at that time, did you ever say things to yourself like, nobody asked me about this? Did anything like that ever come to your mind?
That never came to my mind. And early on, I don't think I was old enough to conceptualize it like that. Probably, I would say in my teens, I said, I wish he would have talked to us about this.
Are you serious?
In my teens.
Okay,
because
why?
I felt like,
interesting.
Because that was like, you were busy.
Okay, when you say teens, what?
This 1990. This 90.
Oh, okay.
So you busy.
Okay, yeah.
You busy.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of
revivals.
Yeah.
You everywhere.
Yes.
So, it was like, okay, if I want to see you, I got to go to church. So, I saw you on the weekend, but it was studying, church, Bible study, Sunday school, especially in the beginning when the other things weren't in place yet.
Right.
Sunday school. So you teaching Sunday school, Bible study, preaching.
Yeah.
So for me, in order to have that connection again, I have to go to church because that's where you spent your time. So, and it's so crazy because, like the skills that I have, I feel like were developed through the church. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I was most of the time. My ability to speak in front of people, my ability to connect with people is because I was always at church.
Okay, I got to cut you off right here because that is an excellent point that people don't realize. So you developed some skills.
Oh, I definitely
because
did. For sure.
Of church.
Oh, absolutely.
Because a lot of people just ain't no value to going to church. So, and like you said, being in front of people. Okay, which ultimately played out at 18, 19, 20 when you started doing it. Okay, so even in that, you mean there was a benefit to the fellowship of church?
It was. I mean, don't get me wrong. You remember, I was always on stage because I was gymnastics and things like that. But I wasn't talking. So I was used to being in front of people, but not necessarily talking. Whereas with church, it put me in a position to where I had to talk. And people had to see my personality. And I had to convey a message and things like that. So, yeah, I learned how, I developed a lot of those skills at church.
Wow. Okay, so now we're into our teens. And like you said, about 1990, now I'm starting to do a lot of revivals. But I always felt, now you tell me if I'm wrong, because sometimes, you learn some painful truths. I always felt that I took the time to establish relationships with my children and to be there for the things that were important. But I remember before ministry, I used to do a children's show.
That I hated. Them kids.
Can I finish?
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to.
Can I finish?
Triggered.
I did a children's show called Diddle Doors on Channel 7, which I was just so proud of to find out you hated it.
I hated it. First of all, you're my dad. And why are those kids touching him? Yuck.
You were fine, Jaketta.
Disgusting. I wanted you to take a shower. It was like, I felt violated. And I kid you not. I did not I was very much so against that.
Against that show?
Absolutely.
Okay. I just wanted to bring them.
Hated the show. I didn't like the kids. No, not to y'all now.
Never did anything to you.
I'm sorry, but I didn't like y'all. I'm good now. We good. I'm almost 50. I'm over it.
Okay. So, I kind of felt one of my desires, Jaketta, was, okay, I got this ministry. I know I'm calling. I know I had ran enough. So, I knew. It's just in case if I'm 37 years old, you're going to have to relinquish. Dude, it's just that simple, man. But yet, of course, everybody paid a price. Everybody in my family paid a price to that call. So now you're in your teens. Now you're going through high school. We still got a decent relationship because dad is there. But were there times you resented me?
There weren't times I resented you. There were times where I felt like you could have said no, though. I didn't feel like you had to take every revival. You didn't have to go to every person's house. You didn't have, it was like, okay, dude, I mean, I get it. But, do you have to preach 3 times in a Sunday? You know what I mean? It's like, do you have to have the whole month of April or May to be a revival month? April, May, June were your revival months, and you were literally in revival every week for 3 straight months, 4 years. 4 years. So, so that takes a lot of preparation. First of all, I know you're the type of person to do things excellently. So you're not going to have to do anything. And with you, you're going to put in everything into it. So I know that. So I know that's what it takes to be where you are and who you are today. But at the time, as a teenager, I don't see where we're going to be, 35 years from now, obviously. Right here, right now, I want my dad.
Okay. I kind of get the drift.
I'm just saying that was where I was sometimes, because remember, my whole Sunday was taken from me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? And that was years. You gotta remember.
On Plymouth, and then in the afternoon at Palmer Park, and you were with me. Just then, Tuesdays at Liberty City.
Wednesdays and Saturdays at Belle. That I remember Millie's Bar.
Oh my goodness. The Millie's, oh my goodness, yes.
So I remember the little old lady and everything.
Yes.
So I'm saying that was us. The baseball thing, going to the park, that was me and you. And it was like, now I gotta share it. Once again, I gotta share him with other kids. I gotta share him with other people.
Well, essentially. So, would you suggest, just from a child's standpoint, as a PK, whether it's a pastor's kid or preacher's kid, would you suggest that pastors or preachers talk to their children about their call? Do you think that's
absolutely?
Wow.
I think it's almost unfair because for me, you totally shifted my life. Yeah, I know you were being obedient, but I'm saying for me at that time,
right?
You totally shifted my life. That decision totally and now you're pastor, and now I got these people looking at me and want, kind of like scrutinizing what I do, what I wear, what length my skirt is my hair combed, just stuff, you know what I'm saying, from people, and I hear it, you know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't always fun.
So you honestly, a pastor or a preacher,
should definitely tell.
You mean I should have sat down with you at 10 or 11 or 12?
Yes, because that's a major shift. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we were moving, you would have told us. If you had gotten a job, you got a job, but you didn't tell us what it would entail. And I didn't know that this new thing you were doing was going to take so much of your time, which meant it was going to take time away from me. So, yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that part of it.
And it's interesting because at the time that I was called a pastor, you were 10 or 11, Blair was only 3. So it ain't impacting him because we carrying him on our taking him wherever. But you and I had already established another routine,
right?
To the point where you would chase the foul balls.
Exactly. So that I knew my role, and I think part of coming into this new space, I didn't know my role, and I had to find a space for me. So thankfully, Auntie Barbara came, so then I got in the choir. So that's when I learned that I could sing. So then it was, well, your dad's out front. Why don't you get out front? And it would be like, I don't want to though, but I was kind of like pushed, like, go. And so I didn't want to at 12, 13 to be out front, but I end up learning how to do it and end up being good at it.
Come on now.
So.
Okay. So it is possible that even something you don't want to do, but circumstances force you out there, can be a benefit.
Yeah, for sure.
To be a benefit to you.
Definitely, it's definitely been a benefit. Because I feel like I can talk in front of anybody. You know what I mean? I feel like a size of the crowd doesn't matter. I can talk in front of 5 people. Or 500, it doesn't matter. 5,000, 50,000. So it doesn't matter. But that particular skill was definitely, fortified at church.
Tough question. What, in terms of my calling, what would be or do you have any major regret?
Major regret? I want to say major regret.
Okay.
No, I want to say regrets because a lot of good things came out of this. So but it's an adjustment period. It was an adjustment period. And then growing up, especially like going through my teenage years, when it's rough for all teenagers,
mm-hmm.
it was like a spotlight was on me. Mm. You know, just, oh, you know, you have nice legs. Those short skirts shouldn't be so short. And it's like, it's to my knees. Like, I'm not, like, y'all trying to make me something I'm not.
Okay.
And I didn't like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like, it was almost like trying to turn, I'm like, in this time, I'm probably like 16, 17, 18. And it's like, y'all trying to turn me into an old maid. I'm not that. Y'all trying to make me something into this image of a pastor's mm-hmm. kid mm-hmm. that y'all want me to be. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to be it. Okay. So,
do you think that's unfair?
Absolutely.
Okay. Why?
Because, one, I felt like people that you have these misconceptions about pastors' kids, or you think that we should be a certain way, and you don't even require that of your own kids. Mm. So it was like, how are you requiring this standard and your own kid a bum? Worry about that. Like, pick a struggle. You can't be worried about me, but your own kid doing whatever. Mm. And so that will really get to me. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And do you think that it bothers other preachers' kids too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I know they do. And it's so funny because when a lot of preachers' kids aren't as outspoken as I am.
Right.
So I will defend a preacher's kid. If I feel like they're not speaking up, I will say something. Because it's like, hold on, you know, a lot of things we have not said because my dad is a pastor. So it's like, and people will try you because they know, or because they feel like, oh, I'm going to just go tell Pastor Gaines, or I'll just go tell Pastor Gaines. Go ahead. You know, whatever. Mm. So it was like that too. If people didn't think I behave the way in a pastor's to their standard
for a pastor's kid,
right? Then it was like, oh, I'm gonna tell your daddy that you tell him. Okay, you know.
Do you feel, Pastor Brother Center, did you feel pressure from me?
Never. Okay. It was never from you. It was always from church people. Never from you. Okay. That, I think, because you didn't pressure me is why I was able to cope with it. Mm. Because I feel like if you were on me, I probably wouldn't love the Lord now. Mm. But because you handled it gently as opposed to as harshly as church people did, you handled it gently. So I was able to get through it. But if you were like how church people treated me, no, I probably would not love the Lord.
Okay, so are you saying, or are you saying, well, no, because you don't imply. Are you saying that unbeknownst to me, people would treat you harshly?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
And do you believe other pastors' kids and preachers' kids go through that?
Yes. Yes.
In the church where the pastor is?
Yes. Wow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I don't know why people think, or there were just people who thought they could just say anything to me. I won't name y'all, but I won't name you. But I'll do it on my podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
So, but it was just, it wasn't overt. It was more underhanded. Okay. Where you knew that didn't feel right, but it wasn't, you can't really like pinpoint what was said.
So the statement, you knew that didn't fit, but you can't say it was harsh or vulgar.
Right. But it was like, you meant something with that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I would say, let it ride, because you let so much stuff ride. So you helped me in the sense of dealing with that. And that did keep a lot of stuff down. But then but on the inside, I would be like, man, I'm going to punch you in your Adam's apple. But, you know, would just be like, all right, all right, whatever.
But see, these are real feelings. And these are real feelings together that many pastors don't think about, preachers don't think about. They're not. We want to be obedient to God, and we love our families, and we want to take care of them. I had never, I didn't know how to take care of family in ministry. Jobs, yes, not in ministry. So you're right. Everything that came my way, I took because I got these babies to feed. You understand what I'm saying? And I know other pastors feel that and believe that and work hard. Some of them have jobs while they pastor. Okay. But I just, one of the reasons that I wanted you guys to share is that in Genesis, and I believe pastors, and especially black pastors, we believe that it's God, church, family. God, church, family. And the truth of the matter is God's family, church. It's God, family, then church. Because the first institution after creation was family. Church was centuries later. Now, I think any pastor's family realizes that sacrifices have to be made for God.
For sure.
But we still have to remember it's God, family, then church. We just didn't always know how to do it. Because we feel like, okay, if I give God all I got, he's going to bless the family, right? And he does. But what happens is we don't, because we're ignorant to it, or just didn't take up the time to know the psychological effect that it has. Now, that's where I want to go.
Okay.
Growing up in a Christian home, albeit after you were 10, but it wasn't a vulgar home. It just wasn't a Christian home in terms of church, because that is during the time when I was mad at God. I was done with church for a long time, and then he calls me into the ministry while I'm singing in a nightclub. Really? So all of a sudden, everybody's life has changed. Okay, I recognize it affected everybody in that house, including my marriage, because this is not the person
that she married.
You understand? This had an effect on everybody in that house. Now, Blair's just 3 kids not born. It had an effect on you. Had an effect on my marriage at that time to your mom. And yet, hey, your mom actually got saved in that.
True. And that was a great thing.
What a wonderful thing. Absolutely. But let's don't deny it affects, because I try to get people to understand. I don't understand where this first lady thing came from, as if it's a calling. People make it a calling. And I don't believe it's a calling. I got a calling. The wife gets sucked up in the calling along with the kids. Okay?
And that's what I would tell people. I'll be like, God called him, not me. Y'all need to stop trying to make me him. Yeah. Even now, even though I can joke about it now and say, do y'all know Pastor Gaines? Okay, I'm not him. But before, as a teenager, at 17, 18, 19, it was like, y'all, back up off of me. Like, God called him. Why are y'all expecting me to live this straight-laced life? I am 17, 18. I've never really been out of the house. I'm ready to see the world. And y'all trying to keep me here. And so I didn't like that either.
And that's how the average, I guess, teenager would see that, wouldn't it? And then, but yet, you adjust it. You begin to know God more than you ever have. Sure. And all of that's great. But here's what I'm going to have to do. So now we're 17, we're 18, we're 19, we're 20. Now we're moving on into adulthood now. And everything hasn't been great for you. Can you share, or would you share, that progression into adulthood, even into marriage, so 9 years, and how did you see God in those years, in 2021 on, grown woman?
Mm-hmm.
How did you see God even after the birth of Jason Chandler,
Mm-hmm.
pastor's kid, da 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 da,
Mm-hmm.
our own struggles,
Right.
divorce from your mom? How did you see God? What was your concept of God during those times? And hey, you don't forget,
I'm a
you're a
pastor's kid.
pastor's kid.
Right. Okay, so between 18 and I say 26, I did not have any relationship with God. I was just going to church.
Are you serious?
I wasn't praying. I wasn't doing anything.
From 18 to what?
26 till about 26.
Wow.
I was going, and I knew it was like I knew what to say at that point. You know what I mean? I knew I've been in church long enough to know how to behave. You know what I mean? It wasn't because I felt like this place that I've spent the last 18 or, let's say the last 10 to 15 years of my life, I haven't really found out who I am. Everything has been centered around dad and his calling, Then it was like once people saw that I could speak, now people trying to push me to be an evangelist. I'm 20. I just know how to talk in front of people. I'm not trying to be him. And I think like me pulling away from God was that pressure from the people. Because it was like, why are y'all trying to make me into him? I don't want to be him. I don't want this responsibility. I don't want all these people calling me. I don't want all these people in my face. Stop trying to make me him. And so that was like a big thing. So between 18 and say 25, I didn't have a relationship with God. What restarted per se, I would say, when I really felt like it was like, okay, I'm gonna start coming, trying to have a relationship, was when I got pregnant with Jay. But like before then, psychologically, I didn't understand who I was. I was in a bad psychological place just because of some trauma through my childhood that I hadn't dealt with. My relationship with mama at the time. And then it was a lot. So I wasn't attuned to God. Then it was like, okay, now I'm pregnant. Now I'm about to be somebody's mom. And it was like, that's when it kind of got like serious to me. And it was like, oh God, I'm pregnant. And then on top of that, I gotta tell daddy. Oh, bleep. So, that, and it's I found out in July. No, August. I found out in August. I didn't tell you till October. And it was because I was like, well, I ain't gonna be able to have it much longer. You're gonna be like, what's that? Oh, like I'm gonna have to tell them.
Okay.
So, I remember, I think about this day. This was like this is why he's my favorite person. So I remember coming to tell you in the kitchen at the apartment.
Yep.
And I was like, Dad, sorry. And I was like, I know this gonna take a toll on your ministry. And you was like, whoa. My ministry. You said, I'll handle the Negroes. as far as I'm concerned, you have two responsibilities. Yo. And I thought in my mind you was going to make me go before the church because I was the pastor's daughter. So that's what I was thinking in my mind. I'm like, yeah, you're going to make me go in front of the church. Okay, whatever. But you said you have two responsibilities as far as I'm concerned. You said your first responsibility is to do everything those doctors tell you to do. Mm-hmm. And your second responsibility is to get my grandbaby here. Mm-hmm. And that's when I lost it. And then I had Jay. And then Jay was like the bright spot in everybody's life. You know, he came around when everybody was down. You know, he brought me up. He brought a light to you. He brought a light to mama in a way that it was like, is this the same person? Just to see her interact with him. And so he was just a bright spot. And then it was, you know, then I end up moving in with you. Then Jay ended up getting diagnosed with autism, and you know, feeling like, man, Lord, like, why my kid? And you know, why my child won't be able to do regular stuff, and why? What did I do for my baby to be like this? You know, and I remember when he was diagnosed and I was around the apartment for about a week, just kind of like moping, kind of processing it all. And you and all your, it's care, not compassion, but it's care. And wow. you said, look, I know you upset about this, but you moping around ain't gonna help him. He needs your help. So that's when I, you know, got busy in trying to get with him, you know, get him together. And but first, let me go back to April 9th, 2003. It was approximately 6:00 in the evening. I was on my second to last push with Jason.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Wow. Okay, I guess you are. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I fall back in sheer exhaustion, y'all. Sheer exhaustion. Like I had never felt this kind of exhaustion. Like since that day, I have never used the word I'm exhausted because I know I'm not exhausted because I don't feel like that day. So I've not used that word to explain me since that day, since April 9th. So I'm laid back. The doctor is looking at me and she says, Mom, your baby's heart rate is decreasing. This next push, you're going to have to give me all you got. And I got tears in my eyes and I look at Dad and I said, Dad, I can't do this. I can't do this, Dad. I can't. It's too hard. It's too hard. And so Daddy looked down in my face. He put his hand on my head like he was getting ready to say something soft. And he looked down and he said, well, who gonna do it? Because I can't do it. Your mama can't do it and he can't stay there. And I was like, what kind of pep talk is this? So it was like, what? But I would say that Jason was the bright spot, and nobody, I don't think anybody knew or could foresee the impact Jay would have.
To this day.
To this day. I don't think we, the impact he's had. So, but then then it was the walk with, I would say the walk with God was cool, after Jay, and then I got married, and that's when it kind of fell off again. But my marriage was so tumultuous, I had to call on God. It was so bad. Like, it was so bad for me psychologically. So bad. So bad to the point where in August of 2018, I wanted to kill myself. Like, I was at the point of the suicide note. Like, I was going to write the note, and I had made the decision. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And at that moment, I remember the kids started when I made the decision, the kids started laughing, and it made me laugh. And that's when the Holy Spirit was like,
about something else.
They were laughing upstairs in that room.
Okay.
And when I literally had said, Lord, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna write the note. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And they laughed right when I said it. They laughed, and they was cracking up, and so it made me laugh. And the Holy Spirit was like, "You're not going anywhere. I still have more for you to do." And that's when my relationship with the Lord really started to change, because I had got therapy at that point, and yes, Christians can get therapy. Man,
I was getting ready. Black people don't get therapy. You don't get therapy.
Listen, that's part of why we going through a lot of what we dealing with, because y'all, therapy did so much for me. Some of this stuff you can't pray away. You need help. If you go get your car fixed, you go get your teeth fixed, you go get your hair done, and those are professional people. Why would you not go to a professional about what's going on in your mind? Because just because your parents did the best they could don't mean they did the right thing. And maybe what they did messed you up to the point where it's continuing, generational curses and ideas and legacies that shouldn't even be in your family anymore. But because we don't want to deal with it, and yes, it is a lot of work, it is a lot of crying, a lot of pain, but I am so grateful the Lord brought me to therapy. And the way he brought me to therapy, it was through Jason. Because I remember, Jason, when Jason was diagnosed with autism, he was 11 at this point. And I remember saying to the Lord, like, Jason had a meltdown, like where he really couldn't control his emotions this particular day. And the normal things I would do to help him control his emotions, they wasn't working. And it frazzled me.
Okay.
And so I went up in my room, and I remember crying, and I remember saying to the Lord, Lord, how long you gonna punish me for having Jason out of wedlock? Because that's what I thought autism was about.
Wow.
I was like, after a while, I was like, he doing this because I had him out of wedlock.
Wow.
He afflicted my baby with autism. So I said, so this is 7 years later. So I said, Lord, how long you gonna punish me for having Jason out of wedlock? And he said, for the last 7 years, you have blamed me for his autism. And he said, what does the name Jason mean? I was like, it means healer. He said, exactly. And it's because of him. The one you complaining to me about, because of him, I'm going to heal thousands, beginning with you.
Oh, my
So
God.
get up, stop feeling sorry for yourself, and help my people. And that's when and 6 months later, I was in therapy. But the crazy thing was, even in therapy, I was in therapy for 4 years and still wanted to commit suicide. But that was because I was dealing with all those emotions, everything that was going on in my marriage, dealing with the things in therapy. Those things are hard. And it was hard to see God in a lot of that stuff. It was very hard to see God.
So do you believe a lot of people have difficulty seeing God because of pain?
Absolutely. And then people are shamed for their pain. You know, people are shamed for doubting God as if you're not human. You know, if a person is doubting, they're doubting for a reason. Why don't you find out what the reason is? Instead of shaming them for the doubt, they're doubting for a reason. So, and that means it's an internal conflict. Find out what the internal conflict is before you get to saying, oh, you shouldn't doubt. Well, I know that. I see that in the Bible. That's the inner conflict because I'm doubting when I know I shouldn't be.
Okay. We got about 15 minutes. Okay. 20 minutes. So now okay. So we got a tumultuous marriage. So.
Well, the thing about my marriage is God told me not to marry him, flat out, unequivocally. I was like, but Lord, we got the church and I have the dress.
Wait, before you went down the aisle,
October 18th. I remember the day, October 18th. We were getting married October 20th.
Oh my God.
October 18th, the Lord said, don't marry him. Clear as day, clear as I'm talking to you. He said, don't marry him. And I said, no, Lord, we got everything. We got the dress, the church, the flowers, my hair appointment. It's you not now. It can't be like not now. And you know what, Lord? Look, I got it. I love him. Yeah. I got it. I got it from here. I'll fix it. You good? It was like the Holy Spirit was like, hey. And then I went on this roller coaster. It was like, you know, the roller coaster, and it was great. You know, it's just like being at the amusement park. First few times you ride the roller coaster, it's great. It's so much fun. But after that 6th or 7th time, it's like, all right, I'm ready to get off. You know, it's like, this ain't the fun that we was having in the beginning. So it was very hard to see God through that. It was very hard to see God through the divorce. I will say that was my relationship growing with the Lord? Yes, but it was growing very incrementally. It didn't start to bloom, I would say, until after my ex-husband and I separated. So we were no longer in the same place. Then I would say that's because I didn't have the troubles to focus on anymore. I could shift my attention to God and to myself because I wasn't in survival mode like that anymore.
Wow. Is it foolish for me to ask this question? Is it foolish for a woman, if the Lord said that to them a week before they got married, could you look them in the face and say, don't do it?
Baby, if the Lord tell you it's a no-go, just hold his hand when you tell him.
But don't do it.
Don't. Oh, God, no. If the Lord has told you, don't do it. I don't care if y'all got a trip to Bora Bora, and I know that costs some money. Don't do it. Take your dog to Bora Bora. Don't go.
So you telling me
it's better.
Worth
no, it's
the
not
money that you didn't bet.
No, that was 12 years of my life. Honestly, it was the worst part of my life. Honestly. The best part of it was when it was over. I wish him well now, but
and there was a time you didn't, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't stand him. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's not my favorite person now, but
But you
and that's just I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be mean to him or disrespectful or that. It's just he and I, we've had our battles where we were disrespectful and where we were mean to each other.
Yes.
But we were in battle and divorce too.
Okay.
So now that it's over, I feel like, you know, we're at a space where he and I can be cordial. And I'm cool with that because I've been praying for that. So I don't want to have to say anything to him other than what I have to. But at least when we do, we can be cordial.
Okay. So here's what I'm at. You painted a pretty clear picture from. I mean, we could do this for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm, okay. For sure.
Tiny childhood, pastor's kid, on into adulthood, marriage, children. Because one of the things that I do want to mention, yes, come on, man. All of my grandchildren mean the world to me.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Bar none. Yes, we went through something very special with Jason. Because I certainly remember, because he got diagnosed early.
He had just turned 4.
Yes, I give him to say it, 3.5, 4, somewhere around there. Because I used to notice things. Yeah, and I'm saying, well, I didn't really know what autism was. I knew it wasn't great.
I had never heard of it.
So I want to ask this, okay, through the hardships of your marriage. Let's go back to pregnant out of wedlock. Okay. One of the reasons I didn't do that is because the pregnancy wasn't a sin.
But
and
that's what's always put forth. And I never understood why the woman was the only person. Like the dude wasn't there too. That's why
I didn't. Now, yes, we gonna have our conversation
for sure, and we did.
I announced it in church,
and I remember that.
You remember that? I'm going to announce.
And it was more people I won't say more people, but it was a supportive crew who was like, "Why you ain't tell us?" And I'm like, "Well, I couldn't yet."
Yeah. Okay, but my thing was, what's the point of condemning her because she's pregnant? The pregnancy is not the sin.
Right.
The pregnancy is the result of the sin.
Absolutely.
So, if the sin is sex, then a lot of y'all got to stand up.
Right.
And that's why I've never done that. Now, I'm not against anybody who does it. And I didn't just do it with my daughters. I did it with I didn't do it with other women
it happened to.
That it happened to. But what I am saying is that the graciousness of God is an amazing thing.
Absolutely.
An amazing thing. So I watched you, and I say this, you all, because as pastors, and I've always said in synagogue, and I pastored there almost 39 years. It was never a mega church, ever. If I could get 200 there on one Sunday, then I wrote them letters, okay, to get them there. We had a lot. We had second service. Remember when you okay. But I'm saying, 100, 150, 175. But not, I used to say, man, it's dudes out here playing that's got 500 members. And I used to cry about that. I used to wonder, wow, man. But what we have to understand, y'all helped me with something many years ago when y'all said, Dad, your ministry is beyond the walls of synagogue. And you need to recognize that. You need to, okay? So that was a blessing. But the thing is, there are a lot of people who think pastors' lives are this linear
thing. Like, it's no bumps. And that's how I felt, too.
Yes.
Like, it's like y'all act like I can't go through anything. Like, no experience. I'm supposed to handle a marriage just right. I'm supposed to handle temptation just right. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't understand, why was it this standard and y'all not even keeping the standard?
Okay, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's fair. All right, and this is why I try to get people to understand that I've never understood why people understand Alcoholics Anonymous. So we come, a guy stands up and say, I'm an alcoholic. Right? And they said, and my name is such and such. Hello, such and such. All right? No, he's not an alcoholic. I'm still an alcoholic. I just don't drink.
Right.
And so it's Alcoholics Anonymous or
any of them.
Dope and I don't know what the name is, but anonymous.
Right.
And I said, it's the expectation that the church should be called Sinners Anonymous. All right? Because that's what we are. We're all born in sin, and we're recovering. But we give this aura that we're perfect, and then when people find out we're not, that's our fault. Okay, we mess up a lot. So I wanted to do this series with you guys, and y'all acquiesced to me. My kids acquiesced and said, okay, Dad, Yeah, we ain't got no fear. We had a great family life. Mm-hmm. Let's make no mistake about it. And still do.
And this is my favorite person.
You know, and love him to death. But was it smooth all the time? Oh my God, no. So I'm saying this to pastors and preachers. We need to consider our children. You young preachers who coming up with your babies, you're 26, 27, 28, 29, you got your baby. Talk to your babies. Because our calling puts them in a very precarious position. We're being obedient to God, so we ain't thinking nothing. Hey, I'm yes to God. But you all have to remember, God said yes to family. So I want you to kind of sum this up for me, my dear. Where is God in your life now? What this and you've hit it. You say, but Dad, I ain't trying to focus on one particular thing. But the challenge, the chore, the change. You've actually hit all of it. What is all of this whole journey? How old are you now?
49.
49 years old.
Be 50 December 31st.
Come on now. Okay. Ups and downs.
For sure.
How do you see God now? How do you see God these last 4, 5, 6, or if you want to go back to first, how do you see Him? And okay, let me rephrase this because I'm trying to get two things at one time. Mm-hmm. How do you see you as it relates to how you see God?
Mm-hmm. So, who I was in my marriage, I feel like I'm a totally different person. I would say the last 4 to 5 months, I've really been consistent in my Bible study and prayer life. So I've seen the results of that and the outcomes of that. And so I feel closer to God now than I ever have. And since L's thing in May, I've prayed more than I've ever prayed.
Wow.
And I'm really honest with God. Like because once I thought about it, I'm like, it ain't like He don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
We be trying to hide stuff from God. Like, I'm not gonna think that thought. He knows, y'all. He knows. So I was like, what am I hiding? So I might as well get it off my chest. Because that's all I'm doing. He knows. I'm just getting it off my chest by saying it. He knows. He already knows. And because I've started this, I'm seeing the results of that commitment. And I'm seeing, I noticed that when I'm out of pocket, I will pray like, Lord, I know you don't want me to be like this, but this is how I'm feeling right now, or I'm having a bad day, or whatever. I really try to have more than one conversation with the Lord in a day. But in the morning, I get up every morning between 4:30 and 5:30, and that's my prayer time, meditation time, and I do my exercise, my yoga time. So that's just time, I said, with me and God, time with me in my mind, and then time with my body, exercising.
Is that a good investment as far as you're concerned?
Oh my God. It has totally changed my day, how I operate through the day. I'm a lot calmer because I don't have all these things festering inside of me because I pray about it now. I don't have a lot of the angst because I've been through a lot, y'all. And in the last 3 years, the things that I've been through, the stress that I've been through, psychologists would say would be like overkill for a person. So if you there are things in your life where they're big moments, and those big moments causes big stress. So in the last 3 years, I moved 3 times. I got a divorce. My mama died. My son went to jail. My daughter almost took her life.
Wow.
And yet,
look at God.
Exactly. And yet my son is doing well, my daughter is fine, Jason is doing well, and God is good. I can honestly say that in spite of everything that I went through, God is really good. He is really looking out for me, my family. I can just tell by how things are just falling in line. No, things are not perfect. I wish I had $1 million right now. The economy is tight. Okay.
Yeah.
It's tight for me too, and I love Jesus too. But God is good. You know, despite everything that I went through, from birth to where I am now, I'm grateful because of the maturity. Like, I needed my marriage because I needed to mature. My marriage made me grow up. It made me grow up. And the other day I was like, you know what? I am not defined by my marriage. That was a point in my life. I'm not defined by my ex-husband. I'm not defined by any of those things. Now, did those things impact me? Absolutely.
Wow.
But I'm not defined by them. I learn from them and I move on. And I've moved on. And because of that, I'm at peace with a lot of things. Even when my mom died this year, you know, when mama died, you know, that hurt, obviously. And I still deal with that grief that every morning, because I have a picture of us next to my bed, and I just get up and just look at her like it's just like my mama gone. It's crazy. But just this morning, I was thinking about her crying, and it's a lot going on. But God is still good. I'm learning that, you know, you got to get through the trials. I know it sounds cliche and things like that,
it's real,
but it is real. You really do have to take it honestly, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. And for me, I can really say in the last 4 or 5 months, I've really been moving closer to God because I see the benefit in it. I see the benefit because I see the peace that I have, all the things that I thought I needed in my life, I don't have now. And I'm so content.
Wow.
I am so content. All the things that I chased in my 20s and 30s, you know, I thought I had to be married, you know, because of church. I thought I had to be, you know, be this. I thought I had to be the emblem of Christianity. And all that was just a bunch of garbage and malarkey and just stress that I put on myself. And now that I'm like, I don't have those constraints, I'm so content. And it's people who trying to come into my life and I be like, I'm not at, because here's the thing. You're in competition with me. You know what I'm saying? You're in competition with me. You have to bring peace into my life. I don't have to have you
for peace. I got it.
Okay. So if you're not coming with it, you can't come.
Yeah, because I
got it. And I'm not. And as long as it has taken me to get peace,
and it's painful.
And as painful as it was, I'll be a white dog to give it up. And since you know I ain't no white dog, I ain't giving it up. That's my point. I'm not giving it up. There is nobody on this planet, nobody, including you. And I love you. Not even you. I will get rid of you.
Ooh.
And I love you.
I believe it.
But
before you give up this peace.
But before I give up peace, before I give up what I have now, I'll get rid of everybody before I give up what I have.
Okay. Now I got a challenge for you now.
Okay.
You sure? Mm-hmm. Okay. You have 1.5 minutes. 1 minute and a half.
Okay.
Sew this up. What would it just... We ain't even had this conversation.
Okay. Pastors' kids are people. We're people. And life affects us too. Our parents weren't always perfect.
And they're
not now. And they didn't always handle things the right way. And because they didn't always handle things the right way, we didn't always handle things the right way because they were our models. So instead of being harsh or being cruel, ask questions, because that's how you get to know people. Ask questions and see if you can help somebody before you like go in. Because this is something I'm working on too. So I'm not just putting it on you. But, you know, church people, or I'm sorry, pastors' kids are people who go through things, who go through depression, who go through addiction, who go through all of that. We are human, and we are still, we are fallible. And I think that needs to be taken into consideration, that we are people with emotions and thoughts and ideas, and that also we are more than just who we are at church.
Okay, my daughter, my Jaketta, thank you for making yourself vulnerable. And because as you know, this is going out all over the world, wherever it may go. But I believe it would.
So you don't want me by myself?
Here we go. I want to tell you, I've watched you grow. I'm thanking the Lord for that. I've watched the pain. But I've watched you overcome. And the most important thing, I never believed that our pain is only for us. I believe it's to share with others who might not be as strong as you.
For sure.
So I want to thank you. Give me a hug. Give Daddy a hug.
Love you.
Love you, girl.
And I want to say this to my siblings.
Okay.
I love y'all. But to Blair, you really tried.
Here we go.
And here's the thing. You always talk about, I have his name. I have his name. But you forget I had his name first. And here's the kicker. I'm the only kid with both their names.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
I knew we weren't going to
get... And to my beautiful little sister.
Oh, yes.
I know you always say they save the best for last. You just came in last place. Love you.
See, I knew this was going to happen, but you know,
love y'all.
God is so good, y'all.
He is.
I think, thank you, baby.
Love you, Dad.
We're real people, and we need to act like it and let people know that we are.
For sure.
Because it's a struggle sometimes. Thank you for sharing with me and my daughter, Jaketta Gaines. I pray that this session has been a blessing to you as I go through this series, The Pastor's Kids. I've done my two oldest, and my youngest will be the next one that we're going to do. And I pray that we've said something or shared something with you, and especially those who are children of preachers and pastors, that may be a blessing to you. So God bless you and God keep you. Please pray for Think About It 2.0 with Pastor Jake. I ask that you will once again subscribe, like, leave a comment, and hit that notification button. God bless you.